Welcome to After Church Tea Time. Today we'll be discussing the wonderful and powerful sermon by Granville Campbell on power. What is real power and what's the source of your power? Yeah, so I could start, I guess. One thing that struck me when I watched the sermon this morning is I recalled my days when I was a teacher in middle school, and that was the real crucible where I felt powerless. And I was like being, like Granville described, like thinking that power was like being angry or controlling and aggressive. And it felt like my own inner teenager who was hurt and wounded was being triggered in that moment, being a middle school teacher. But I remember when I turned to spirituality, and I had a fake spiritual teacher who told me to connect to my masculinity more, because at the time I wasn't out as a woman, and that by being more masculine, I'll be more powerful. And I did a lot of solar plexus chakra meditations and yoga routines to increase my solar plexus energy, because I was told that it was a masculine chakra. And it's really interesting because this spiritual teacher, the fake spiritual teacher, was mirroring my belief that to be powerful, you had to be masculine. And it's funny because I've been working through this a lot in my harmonious union with Isaiah, claiming that I'm powerful as a woman. And interestingly, the people that I got together for this after church tea time are all divine masculines. I'm just in the room with all men. And I think it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. So I just wanted to point that out. And I've been learning that being a woman is very powerful. So, and I connected with Granville because he's the divine feminine too in the male body. So, I don't know. It was just funny. A lot of syncs. So that was one thing that I took away from it.
And I just want to actually share, it's ironic, like 3 of us here are, transgender, well, 3 of us are divine masculines in feminine bodies. And for me, choosing to be in the feminine body was something that I thought would be easier. I thought it would be easier because I thought that it's a way for me to hide. It's a way for me to be safe. And for me, like whenever I've had the opportunity to really make big strides forward in my healing, I found myself self-sabotaging or trying to back out, distracting myself with other healing. And that there's this part of me that's really afraid of being powerful. And whenever there's been something in my life, even when I was younger, when I didn't know all of this, whenever there was something that invited me more in alignment with my masculine power, my true masculinity, something went wrong and I ran away from that power. But actually, the whole point is that power is when you are in alignment with your authentic self, in alignment with love. And you actually allow yourself just to be who you are without blocking anything. I just thought it's interesting that Granville and 4 of us here in this conversation, we've all chosen to be in a different body and chosen in an experience that is not necessarily on the surface in alignment with our true authentic power. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's really interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, we did choose, but we are choosing to align and claim our true power. So it's beautiful. It's all beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I went through the same experience when I was a little kid. When I was playing in my neighborhood, football and stuff. I was really skinny boy, and I was really calm and gentle from others, and I had this false belief that I had to be strong, and I had to really show my masculinity to show how man I am, from outside. but that was only God like pointing to me the part that I was not accepting within me, that I am already powerful with my most authentic self, like Hugh Mark said. So yeah.
I actually have kind of the same experience. Like, I always judge myself for being like really sweet, and kind, and I always felt like this was like weak, in a sense, like because people have this idea that men are supposed to be like really aggressive, like you need to grab something on the outside, to be a man, or holding to something, and this is something that I'm learning a lot, like, like. My power, like Granville said, like is on my peace, always in my peace, in loving myself. I don't need to be something else. Like holding to a mask to show how man I am. Like because this is not where my power is. It's always within me, and always staying in that peace with God. And yeah, it's really amazing because I'm healing a lot of that feeling powerless. And in my childhood, like I wish like I had the mirror exercise sooner too, because all these childhood traumas, are coming up, and all these powerless feelings made me realize that at that time I didn't have the mirror exercise to heal that, and that's why all the sadness are coming up, because this is the way that I felt before, without like a answer to help me in those situations that I felt powerless. But now I have the power with the mirror exercise, with this work that Jeff and Shaleia brought to us, like to really heal myself, and really let go um, all this past, that this hurt that I felt before, really claiming all my peace within.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's all about self-love, actually. Yeah, it doesn't matter how it looks on the outside. And yeah, I see that. I mean, I'm sometimes just looking, oh, how's a man looking? Or I noticed this in my coaching also with Colby, and I'm sometimes like, just I want to see you like a man or something. And he also just says it's the first thing is the self-love, and then comes the power of your masculinity or femininity. It comes like an own energy. Yeah, it's just a natural thing. And the same is that I see a life purpose topic. I really liked the energy of Granville and how he was talking. There was, to me, also a very like grounded, powerful way, because I know how it is to be, how it transforming it can be to sit in like a new position. And I think he did it very good. Yeah, that was very brave, and yeah, very nice. So yeah, these are all like transforming experiences, bringing us to ourselves. Yeah.
What I feel saying is like the more like we ground ourselves, our power like within ourselves, the more like we feel grounded even with our twin flames, and the more like we feel our oneness with them. And that's a really beautiful thing, because from that we can like expand and see the collective oneness that we all as children of God have, and our power.
Yeah, that's really powerful. If we all like took a moment and just like took a breath there into that. Wow. Yeah, the thing that really stood out for me when you were speaking, Andy, was this concept of sensitivity. Sensitivity is weakness. That idea, and there's, I mean, it's obviously my healing here, but this concept of men can't be sensitive, and that sensitivity is weak in a man, but a good thing in a woman. And in truth, like Granville said, there's power in vulnerability. There's power in in being vulnerable. and power in being sensitive. No matter what your gender is, no matter where you come from, no matter how old you are. Yeah, that's a really deep healing there. Especially as you grow older, and even in places like the workplace, you know, sensitivity is often looked down on. But with the coronavirus and all the things that have been happening in the external world at the moment, I've just really seen that my sensitivity has actually been so necessary for my team at work, because suddenly people don't know what to do. And the person that's sensitive, the person that is more vulnerable, is the one that can help guide there, you know. And there really is power in that sensitivity and vulnerability. And yeah, that really is the true power.
But it coming to me like from the part when Granville said that God wants you to be vulnerable, like from the last week's sermon that I think it was last week's when Daniel and Diana said that we should, wherever we are or wherever whatever we do, we should like give all of us to everything. And when we go all in with all of what we are, that's like being fully vulnerable. And God wants us to be like fully vulnerable, because when we get to be fully vulnerable, everything is, life reflects to us. Like that's like choosing for life to reflect to us and choosing to see that reflection, because like life always reflects to us, and choosing to go deeper in our feelings and self-acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's was very, I don't know, just it resonates with me too, you know, on my journey. Well, probably everybody, I think, but just like, yeah, the feeling that like, I've been working through this a lot this week or the past two, like, to not to shut off emotion, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I kind of learned or observed that maybe you need to like shut off emotions or don't be receptive to others in order to like be strong or to avoid being hurt. But it's just a lie, you know, that like your feelings can hurt you because they can't. It can't hurt you to feel, and also you don't have to let in like aggression from another person or something. You can place a boundary, and if you experience aggression from another person, you can just find where you're being aggressive to yourself and just love yourself instead, you know. But yeah, so but like being able to like open up and feel safe and everything has been a big theme for me, and recently especially. Yeah.
This is like a really important thing that like unionism teaches, that are and Jeff and Shaleia do, that we connect like to God through our feelings, and that's like the key. And that's when we integrate that and like live with that, we're always like open to be vulnerable, sensitive, and like heal whatever comes up, and like feel the real power that we have in our divinity.
Yeah, that's nice. I really liked how Granville described his life purpose and the way and his experiences with that positions, and that it actually really doesn't matter what position you have. I think I just want to share, but my recent experiences with the work in the church. What I feel is very transforming, also. Yeah, when you do that work, and I had a feeling one week also where I really felt like very much under pressure. And also I felt my like old working patterns with pressure and everything. And so, yeah. And so that's what I mean. And what concerning to what you said before, but I could find the connection back again through that work over there. And I was just noticing, oh my God, what am I doing here? Like working like a hamster or something, yeah? Because I really try to play that old pattern, like, yeah, I have to do a job and you have to do it when I have no time, or what's the problem here? And so like this, yeah, work hard, play hard, and yeah, be perfect. And yeah, and then I got some help from Megan over there, and what was really good, and I could come to the connection to God again. And it was, and I felt it really, really close through that working, like transforming process. Yeah. And that's why I'm also very thankful for that experience, because inside of that, like inside of the blog, I was feeling like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening here? Yeah, like what Granville also was describing, like this feeling of, I mean, powerless feeling in a good position maybe, but powerless in some kind of way. And this is just the way to, yeah, to find God again. And then there is the power. You don't need to do anything else, yeah, just the connection.
What I like too, that what he said in the sermon, like that really stood out for me. Like was like, you know, nothing can take away your worthiness. Your worthiness, you know, like you are worthy to, you know, to of your good. You know, you are a divine child of God. So it's like, you know, you're really perfect in every moment. You know, and nothing can take that away from you. It doesn't matter what it's looking on the outside, what you are doing or not doing. You know, and you are perfect right now, and you are worthy right now. You know, you're not powerless in any situation. You really have the power to claim all of it and be all of who you are right now. You know, and this is what something really beautiful that I said, which was like, yeah, this is so totally true. You know, like you of course that you grow and expand who you are, but your essence of who you are with God never changes. You know, you're always divine with God. You're always perfect with God. You're always like worthy, you know, of God's love. And this is the essence of who you are. At the core, you're always perfect there.
Yeah, what I wanted to add to that is like before I joined the community, I was like trying to get my power from outside, like from this place, from this other place. And the real thing that I was doing there, it was just taking from myself and just running away from myself. And in the moment that I joined the community, like in the moment that I like started to go deeper in the teachings, this awakening started to come out in me, that, and I was like starting to have more respect and like have more depth in my in the knowing of my real power. And that was like a really big thing for me, because I started to know God deeper, even if I like dealt with spirituality even before joining the community, but I didn't know how to love myself. And like the mirror exercise teach me that like you, Charlie, said, like I am perfect, I just have to love the part of myself that is believing the illusion of not being perfect.
Yeah, and also like accepting that your beliefs, your inner reality is being manifested externally. Like there's nothing on the outside that can actually create in your reality. And when you accept that you are that powerful, ego has to die. And ego is going to put up a big stinking fight and try and convince you, oh no, actually this thing is more powerful than me. So an example of work, I also had like a recent experience this week of like, suddenly the pressure is back. Suddenly like I'm feeling stressed, and you fall into the trap of believing, oh, this work can create in your reality. In my case now, my city is covered in smoke. The air quality is very unhealthy. You know, you can't really go outside. And I went into that trap of feeling like a victim, feeling like this smoke is creating in my reality that I'm at the mercy of this external circumstance. But actually, that's a lie. And I'm not a victim. And yes, we're co-creating with everyone. We're co-creating with God and, you know, with our brothers, you know, on this earth as part of the sonship. But we are still so powerful that we have a choice. And sure, I mean, there's smoke all around me. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to sit and choose for the smoke to go away. It's just choosing how you react to it, choosing how you're going to let that affect what you are doing, how you are spending your time, and how you perceive what's happening, right? So you have unlimited power in how you experience your life. No matter what happens, you always have power. And that also means taking responsibility for some choices that you've made that haven't felt good. You know, when we take responsibility for everything in our reality, there's no more hiding. There's no more, oh, but that's just that person's problem. When you take responsibility for all of that, you step into your authentic power. And you step into, you know, truly taking that surrendered approach and letting God flow through you instead of going the route of, oh, I need to control everything.
Yeah, what I felt sharing about that, like, as you said, like, we take responsibility for our own choices of what the external presents to us. And when we actually like choose to give power to love, like ego like starts just to dissolve and just to completely erase itself. And like it cannot even talk to you when you continuously like constantly give your power to love. And that's when you actually like start to see that the real power is in love, because ego just was this illusion that was making you like live in a dreamland of I don't know, like having power in a really external way, which internally didn't bring you peace, just like brought you a resistance to love.
And also, like, and Granville touched on this a lot in the sermon, but redefining what we see power is. We grew up and we're conditioned by society to see that power is aggression, that power is forcefulness, both in like body language and in words and speaking. We grew up believing that power is, you know, working very hard, like having like lots of, what's the right way to say it? Power is earning lots of money. Power is,
stuff.
you know, sorry?
Having a lot of stuff.
Right. But for me, the thing that like I've still kind of been struggling with is that sense of like aggression and forcefulness. That is not power. That's not power. And we need to override that. Power is really what we've said, like being authentic in yourself. Power is letting God flow through you.
Yeah, I like what he was saying in the sermon. Oh, I forgot Granville. Yeah, what's the name? No, I'm not really Granville. Now I got it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope you you don't mind. Yeah, I like that sentence that power is peaceful and grounded. Yeah, and I feel like it can be also like a gentle whisper or something. Yeah, it's just inside yourself and it leads you. It's just a very nice thing. And yeah, there is probably a big like connection to trauma when you talk about power, yeah, because it's always these two directions. Like I feel like this in my experiences. The more I come into power, the more sometimes some like trauma reactions are coming up or so, or ego is getting screaming loud to me and louder every step I go further. That's why I'm very happy that we have that MAP program. Yeah, where you, Sage and Isaiah, are working on a lot. And yeah, maybe, and it can be, so I think power can be everything. It can be being present. And for me, it was, I was a bit meditating on that topic. It was jumping, actually. I really like to jump. But I had a trauma reaction with the thing of jumping, jumping in front of other people. Yeah, and how did I notice that? In a therapy, because my twin flame is a therapist, and I was very afraid. We did some movie, some moving training over there, where we could also jump and dance and do whatever we want. And I just wanted to jump, like something you do when you are a child. I just wanted to enjoy that again, like when you see children jumping. Yeah. And I couldn't, or I tried it one time, two times, but then I was really like numbed out. I wasn't there anymore, I was like dissociated. And yeah, and the thing I want to share here is that you can work on this. I did a lot of positive experiences with my twin flame, and I have a map session on Tuesday, so I'm very curious about that. Yeah. But what I share now is that it is working right now. I could work on this. I can jump now. And yeah, and this is such a nice thing. It's not about, I think it's not about masculinity or femininity. Yeah, it's just power you want to enjoy. And I really like that, to go outside when other people, or when I like go for running, I'm just jumping. I mean, I mix it, the jumping like a child and the running, and I really enjoy this. And I like to feel my body, and people sometimes maybe are looking to me, but actually I think they are just also enjoying how I enjoy it. So yeah, that's just a nice story that came to my mind, that power can be everything, and there's this connection, yeah, to trauma. Maybe you can say more about this, Sage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really sweet. Yeah, trauma has a lot to do with power, or like trauma is something that keeps a lot of people believing that they're powerless, or in a state of powerlessness. But the truth about it is that trauma doesn't have the power to hurt you or to control your life. You have the power of choice in your life, and you can't really be hurt. And yeah, and mind alignment process really proves that, because like once you bring the truth to the place where you're traumatized, and once you choose peace there, that stuff doesn't have any more power over you. And so that's it, and it's all undone. And so it really, the power was an illusion that the trauma had. The power of it was an illusion the whole time. So yeah, that was my experience. Yeah, I had childhood trauma. Well, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood about my gender identity and my relationship with men. And yeah, I felt like the triggers and like the limitations on me that I was experiencing, like where I couldn't really express my true self. At some level, I felt like those were like a brick wall that I couldn't knock down or get past, right? But right after I had my map session, I was right away just like free of them. Like it was like the whole wall just came tumbling down, or it dissolved. And yeah, it was beautiful. You could see like the before picture. I was like Like I was being myself, you know, and doing my best, but I was like, don't hurt me. And then afterward, I was like, oh, like there's nothing anybody can do. And I could just like be comfortable too around the masculine energy without feeling really defensive, you know, and fearful. And that was really, really relieving to me. And that's why I can be with Isaiah and live with my twin flame in harmonious union, because I don't have that constant pressure on my psyche of the trauma, you know? So definitely, and I connect to that. And I also wanted to address some of the comments too, like, yeah, Ravethi said that she realizes how sometimes our power and mastery even exists, especially in the places where you feel is a weak spot. So God surprises us when we open ourselves to how he created us, just his vision of our design. I think that's really beautiful. Like choose to see a spot where you feel weak as your greatest power, because a weak spot is where you're being given more power. Like the opening, it's the opening to receiving the strength. And earlier too, there's just a few of these. Puja had an insight during Reithi's meditation today. She saw a vision. She saw Jeff and Shalea's image looking very happy and carrying their beautiful baby in their arms. And that's how I feel too. You know, like we're all babies to God. We're all God's babies, and it's okay. It's safe for us to be vulnerable because God has us in his arms. You know, that's why. And she says, I'm being vulnerable here, and I was feeling uncomfortable before to share this, but maybe now God guided me to share it here. And I thought that was really helpful to just connect to yourself as God's baby, you know, to feel, that does feel very, it does feel very powerful, you know, you're not powerful alone. And then the other thing, let me see, oh, Francine Bouillon, I don't know how you say your name. I would like to understand more how living our values is living in our power. I think that's what Granville was saying. So can you guys comment on that? Like how is living your values living in your power? Or how does that make you powerful?
I feel like it's honoring yourself, you know, honoring who you are, that you're respecting yourself. I know that for me, something that I feel like even with the Granville, I feel like I'm going to go deeper into my list of values as well, because one of the core values for me always about trust, you know, and honesty. And for me, when I honor that, you know, the more that I go deeper into trusting myself, knowing that I'm worthy to be trusted, I realize that if there's something on the outside, I'm gonna say something, but if a person doesn't look like trust me, I don't need to give attention to that. I can just trust into myself, into who I am, and value that. You know that I know that I'm worthy to be trusted. You know, because when you have your list of values, you are giving that to yourself. You know, because God, He loves you and trusts you and wants for you to have the perfect relationship with Him and with others. So I feel like this is one of is it really important to honor your values, because this is the way that you attract healthy relationships in your life. You know, a healthy life purpose. You know, your relationship with your twin flame and with yourself. You know, and God and yeah, I mean, this is kind of my experience that I'm learning, but I definitely going to do like a list about my values too, because I never realized that before. Like, it's really important to.
What I wanted to share in this, like, I lately like discovered that one of my core values is justice, and Granville said that too about himself. And yeah, like I was like seeing how like the biggest like delusional, the most delusional parts of my life were me not giving justice to myself. And that was the contrast that God was wanting me to see what I was doing to myself, and what that was the place that I needed, like, to be fully vulnerable with myself, open up and heal fully, and give my power, give power to myself and claim my power back, because like it already was there. I was just like not really loving myself there. So yeah, like your core values like really ground your power and who you are, and live with that in power.
Yeah, well, for me too, I think that, you know, being aligned with your core values is just really attractive, you know? Like, it attracts good things, and it attracts people who can, like, help you, you know? And it's just really, I don't know, I feel like it's like really bonds people to you, because people know that they can trust you, and you don't have the inner conflict, because you might have value but act against it. But if you have value and you like surrender to it fully, and you're in harmony with it, then you feel strong on the inside, because you don't have that inner conflict, you know? And I feel like people just respond to that, and well, the universe and God responds to that, you know, because it's just like there's the resonance of the strength there. And yeah, and I experienced a lot of love and just a lot of intimacy and closeness too, and like the power of attraction in my relationship with Isaiah when we opened up about our core values, because it was just really motivating to see that we shared the same core values, and it felt really intimate, because it's sharing these parts of ourselves that were really dear to us, and the fact that we can share in that creates a really powerful bond, you know? So yeah, that's what it made me think of, you know? So yeah, core values are fun, they're awesome.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah. Yeah, I like it to see you together also, like your energy, and you are laughing so much together. I really like it. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought, to my mind, the first thing was like laugh, yeah, coming at a core value, that just laugh, that maybe should be a core value or so. What I liked, and what I liked also from Grenville's experiences, is when he was saying he was doing the mirror exercise during his working process, and before and after, and so. And I think if you do that mirror exercise, you will maybe all experience this, but that make me just, yeah, feel very, very good about it, that you can like change so much just with this instrument. Yeah, that before you feel like a bit confused, and everybody is coming to you in a working situation or somewhere else and saying, what are you saying, what do you want, and what should I do, and something. Yeah, and then you do the mirror exercise and see where the source is, like this. And yeah, and after on there is much more like clarity over there, and you go like a, yeah, like a newborn person into the same situation. Yeah, that was really nice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I experienced that when I was first starting out on this journey in this community, learning the mirror exercise. I was still in my middle school teaching job, and I did the mirror exercise, you know, and over time, the situation improved there. It was in my old way of being, I was just, it was staying about the same, or like getting worse. And once I started doing the mirror exercise, I learned that I could really let go of the crap inside of me and reduce the triggers and take back my power. And my own inner teenager was able to feel more loved, you know, like this was just the beginning. So I was just beginning to learn it, and like I was learning to trust it and trust the power of healing and love. And but as I did it, things got more and more peaceful, and I started to have moments where I was like, whoa, I feel joy. I feel peace during the day. I used to feel dying on the inside all the time, but I feel these moments of joy and peace breaking through the clouds. That was a fucking miracle. I didn't think that could happen. I did not think that could happen. I didn't think I could get a control over my anger issues, but I had started to, and it was a miracle. You know, things got a lot better. And love is really powerful. Like, it's important to keep believing in that and not underestimate it. You know, it can do great things. Yeah.
Yeah, and this reminds me, like, in A Course in Miracles, it says there is no order of difficulty in miracles. There's no difference between a small miracle and a big miracle. It's the same. And all of that is part of your innate power. Because God created you as himself. He created you with the ability to create. And when we believe that we can't do that, when we believe that miracles are special, we deny that innate ability. We deny that innate power. When we make such a big fuss about some tiny little synchronicity, we make it special. It's not special, it's normal. It is what should be happening. And when we release attachment to what miracles look like, we get out of the way and we allow God to just move through us the way he wants to. And that is real power. Get out of the way. Just surrender into that peace and love. And God can move mountains.
Yeah, like what you just said was really beautiful, because that's like getting high on normality and what it should be and what is our core as divine beings and children of God.
Yep. And the thing is, like, whenever I try and like get high on like signs and synchronicities, or like, I don't know, some little thing that shows, oh look, Karina's my twin flame. Karina just says, right? Because you don't have to, it's just who you are. There's no proving it. There's no, oh, this is just magic and rainbows and unicorns. It's just peace.
You just surrender to the truth of who you are, and that you are powerful already in the way that you are. And that's why being with your twin flame is so natural and simple, because it's not like that high vibe, like like not that the twin flame union is not high, but it's not like a false twin flame. It's not like when you project your union outside of yourself. And you try to catch it. Your power on the outside, but is always within you. Everything is always within you. Like Reverend said, like everything. Uh, God is within you. Your twin flame is within you. You are, within you. And it's really simple and easy. You just need to surrender that. Truth is simple. Power is simple. Life itself is very simple. We just allow ourselves to move through life. It's a flow, right? We just allow ourselves to move through it. And this is one of those things that, before Angela had revealed that she was my twin flame, on the, I don't know, it was in the same day. I had like this little dream, like, that was like flying with God and my twin flame in front of me. And I wasn't like holding my twin flame, with my arms. I was with my arms around her. It was like this free, holding, like, like I wasn't like grabbing to. I was just like allowing myself into the flow that God was carrying us. And this is the way that living a surrender life is. You just allow God to love you and to move through you, with your twin flame. You don't need to grab and hold into anything. You're never powerful doing that. You know, this is the way that makes you feel weak, because you're trying to control the outside and not going within and find the peace within. You know, because and for me, this week is like really learning that it's not weak to be present with my feelings. You know, I am actually very powerful to be present with my feelings, because this is the way that I'm loving myself and being there. And because I didn't have that masculine presence in my childhood, so for me, learning that, oh, okay, sorry, yeah, can you hear me? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I got some things, I think. Do you?
You have muted yourself.
Oh, are there any comments or something? Did you wanted to say something, Sage?
Oh, yeah, I guess,
Mm.
I think so. Yeah, I had like a weird internet issue going on for a second. But yeah, I suddenly feel free and unburdened. I don't know what happened. But I love how, like, okay, in my HTFU, Isaiah teaches me that simplicity is very powerful and God is simple and God's love is very simple. And it's just been really healing to see that, you know, that true power is in that, the simple, the love. It's all about the vibration that you put forth. And it's just been really healing and humbling for me. And when I humble myself to that, and when I feel into it and surrender there, we're able to connect so that we can both teach each other things. Because, you know, I have certain things that I, you know, have like skills that I acquired. Like I'm really good at grammar and like fucking punctuation. Like I know all the rules and shit. And I'm just like, look at me, you know, but if I'm being arrogant or controlling, then it can't come through. And when we're humble, and also when I see the value of that, it's okay to teach and direct, and it's not hurting anybody. Just does not, don't be a judgmental asshole. But when we transcend all of that, and I surrender into the love that's there, it is so powerful, and it feels so good and innocent and loving for us to help each other in that way, you know, and recognize that we're equals. That's been really healing for me. And so it's like, you know, I've been letting go of a lot of shit from the past where I thought my power comes from what I know, what I can do, my background, where I went to school or whatever, that kind of shit. Like all this stuff, thinking it comes from outside of me when it comes from within me. You know, and I'm not sharing, it's not about the thing I'm sharing, I'm sharing part of myself, you know, like, because the stuff that I love and that I like, always had a flair for, it's actually just a part of myself finding expression through these things. And that's fine. It's just seeing it's about the you that you're sharing. It's not the goodness, the power doesn't come from this thing. Like I know how to use a semicolon. Great. You know?
You don't know that?
Yeah. There's two kinds of people in this world. Those who can use a semicolon and those who can't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like that kind of attitude, you know?
Yeah, well, this is also a power I like. It's like humor. Yeah, it's also power. It's God's power.
Humility, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had something interesting to notice. I actually wanted to talk about that we we are the most of the time actually not believing that we have the power, because we are always very powerful. But then there was coming a thought into my mind like, did I say Granville? Did I say he or she? Did I use the right pronoun? Oh, did I do something wrong? Yeah, I just I don't know. And then I just thought, yeah, just say it. So you have to be maybe very aware of yourself. That's maybe what wants to be expressed here. And then just say, ego, do that shit away, goodbye, yeah, like this. Because if you have these moments, this can take your power actually. So I hope Granville is okay with me, but maybe we can talk later. But I noticed that I very often actually have these thoughts, yeah. And this is actually the work I think you have to do to come to power, these like patterns and all that stuff, like saying, no, that's not the truth, go away. Yeah, that was just, yeah. And the other direction, that you are really powerful. I see it in my, I have a child, a 7-year-old daughter, Lily, and I see it that it doesn't need to be very much. He's doing jokes over here. She's doing jokes here. I can't talk like this. I can't work. Okay, we just go on. She's sometimes, my daughter is sometimes saying like, oh mom, I'm hurting a bit over here, and I'm just mom, yeah, she says mom, and I say, oh, I'm kissing it, or I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm just touching it, and then she says okay, and she's going away like playing again with the others. So this love is helping her a lot, and actually she will be a good master and help herself. I try to teach her this, but we can also do that with ourselves, yeah. And we are so, what do I want to say, we are so powerful teachers and masters, and the most of the time we don't believe that we have the power. That's the problem, yeah.
So it's really interesting, because everything you brought up was like in alignment with what was coming up in my mind when Sage was speaking as well. A part of me, like, I grew up believing that power is being right. My father was always right. He always had to be right. He always proved he was right. And you were only good enough, or only really receiving his attention and love, if you matched his definition of what right is. Not whether you were speaking the truth or whether you were actually right. If it didn't align with his version of reality, you were not right, and that means you were not worthy. And so even like this thing that came up for you about, oh, did I use the wrong pronoun? Did I say the name right? There's this desire to be right, because we were conditioned that you're only powerful if you're right. And yeah, there's so much going on as well. Like, even if you think about like American politics at the moment, like people are so irrationally focused on needing to prove Donald Trump is wrong, because they believe that only in being right can the real power be acknowledged, or can someone be proven to be false. And meanwhile, no matter what's going on, right, and no matter who's in a position of power, when we release that attachment to what everything looks like and we just go into our hearts, the true power is just letting God move through us in that moment. And so letting go of the knowledge. There's been a couple of recent experiences with people in the community, and even what I've seen in myself, where I think I have the peace. I think I have what God is saying. I think I know it. I think I can see, oh, this is the person's upset. And I feel I have to show them this is their upset. If I can just show them where they're wrong, show them this is their upset, then everything will be better. instead of surrendering and just letting God love them, letting them go about their journey. Yes, you invite them into truth, but through peace, not through trying to prove them wrong. Not through, this like kind of uncomfortable energy of having to show someone they have an upset. Their upset cannot touch you. Their upset cannot threaten the community. Their upset cannot touch your harmonious union or your connection with God. Can you just let them be who they are? Can you let God show them? Yes, speak your truth when you're invited to do so, but from a position of absolute surrender. That is power. And maybe when you do that, when you're truly surrendered and you have no attachment to whether they see the outcome, whether they see that they're wrong or not, maybe then they'll actually listen to you. Yeah, that's just something that came up for me.
Yeah, that was really beautiful and very like logical in how you put it all. What I felt to say was releasing this false separative belief that the power comes from outside first, then the inside, and actually like choosing to see that God is knowledge. Knowledge stands in God, and that, like just you said it, surrendering all of our life to God every moment and releasing attachments fully will put everything in perfect order. Like just like you said, like even if you the moments when you will call to like share something, like invited to share God's message from a full place of surrender, those moments will be like even when the other person will receive your message because your message is coming through God. And that's like living fully in a state of peace and internal power, and like that power, expressing that power outside only in the place of surrender when God calls you to.
Yeah. Let me see. Well, I feel I don't have anything to say, but I just love everything that you guys have said, and it's been a lot of really beautiful insights and learning. Which I will look forward to applying more in my life in our union. But if you guys have anything else to add, or anyone has anything like closing to say, I don't believe. Yeah, the comments are all good.
What I wanted to say, is what Granville said, like God will be like always patient with you to see it, but you will need to see it. And that's like really beautiful, because like it just really calms you down, like knowing that you don't have control. God has the control, and you can just like be and live in that as a being that you are. So, and God will make you see it sooner or later. He will, because he trusts you and he knows that you are his child and what you are in the core. And God doesn't get scared, or God doesn't doubt you that you will lose yourself or whatever. God is very patient and actually like always waits for you and knows that you will see it sooner or later. And that's like really beautiful and really like uh, felt really peaceful for me when Granville said that we will see it all.
Thank you so much, Andy. That was really powerful. Yeah, and it's just been interesting as we've been talking, just how we've had more space for silence, more space to recognize that power in that piece.
Yeah,
So thank you.
yeah, thank you very much. I also felt like I had in my mind, like, yeah, power can be silence also. Yeah, thank you.
Power is like only being, and you are being even when you are silent. So it's beautiful. If we have time, I wanted to share one more thing that I wrote down here that Cranville said. It was a part when he said, like, a real leader trusts his brother that he will deliver, and like God is like that. God actually trusts you and knows that you will like be in alignment, like you will see it, and this is just like seeing that a real leader like has a really big power, but in the sense of love, not ego. And a real leader like will trust their brothers and will give like the full love to the and like the volunteering and whatever it is to his brother, that he, because from the knowledge that his brother will succeed, because that's how God sees his child too. uh, exactly like we see each other like our own brothers, from a state of divinity that we cannot fail, and not from a state of fear. Oh no, you don't do it, let me do this because I got this. And that's like showing us that love disciplines you, and discipline is love, and discipline gives you freedom.
Yeah. I loved what you said about just trusting and knowing everyone is a success, and we can trust people because everyone's a success. No one's different than you, and you're not different than anybody in that way. And I loved that. I think so much of this anxiety about like performance and being right stems from the belief in competition, that someone has to be the loser and someone has to be the winner, and that, you know, this scarcity of success or whatever, that's not real. You know, like, it's just not how God created us. Like, God didn't create some people to succeed and other people to like experience other people to fail. We don't do that, you know. We succeed together. You know, we have to allow each other that journey of like waking up to our own like success, basically, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, God, we are his children, and we are here to learn. And the ego like turns it all over and makes it like we are here to make mistakes, but that's actually the real truth of that is we are here to learn, because mistakes don't exist. And that's when we get empowered by learning.
And the truth is, you can never fail because heaven needs you, all of us. God needs all of us to succeed, because God is not complete without one person, or even 10 people, I don't know. He needs all of us. So eventually, all of us will be united and, and heal all the separation, and, heal ego. Yeah, everyone succeeds eventually.
Yeah, and yeah, that made me think of Granville when he was the dance teacher. He was like, I honestly felt like when he said everybody was there just to have fun and like learn about dancing, I was like, if they have the most fun, then they would, that is success for them, and also they would probably win competitions. Like I mean, if you're having possibly like if you're having a lot of fun and stuff and really enjoying yourself, your passion and your love will take you there to success and stuff. I feel like that's true. I feel like that was in like an LPC that Isaiah and I were watching. Like it was, Jeff was saying you have to let go of like fear cracking the whip, let go of that being your motivator, because that sucks the motivation out of you, even though you think it might motivate you. But the love and the passion and the joy and the fun, like that's enough to motivate you. And that's something that that we are really learning deeply, So it just made me think of that, I loved that. Grandpa's like, I was there to make champions, So.
Yeah, what you reminded me with this dance competition is actually, I was thinking some months before this thing, like having a competition where twin flames dance, but I was like, there can be no winner, like there can be no loser. Everyone is a winner, because the winners are those who feel the most love and those that have the most fun. And like when I was thinking that the competitions, when I was thinking about the competitions in depth, they were not making sense, because in truth there are no actual losers, and it's about who feels the most love, basically. Only ego loses.
Yeah, and I for some reason like that brought to mind something Shaleia said recently, like saying that no one was ever like made poorer by giving. And yeah, like by giving something real, like the love, the joy, the fun, that you receive something. Well, because you get to have joy and fun in your life, and it feels good. So you immediately receive that, especially with doing like life purpose stuff, like fun life purpose stuff. Like Isaiah and I found our flow one time with a video. Like for some reason, I don't know, just having the computer just sitting there making the video, we felt really stiff and that we had to fit a certain mold. It really wasn't. We were having upsets about it, like, and then he just got his phone and we just filmed like with the phone, and it was, it changed and it was shaky and stuff and blah blah blah. But it was, for some reason, I don't know what happened, it triggered in us this freedom to just be ourselves, and it was perfect. And all these anxieties about like, oh my God, are we bad? Are we good? Is it okay? All melted away and we could just be totally real. And that was fun. And that is what I like. I feel like that was a big gift to us. And it was just like brought us up closer, and we felt a lot of love expand in our union after that. It was
I
just
want
like
to make a joke. Just
Yeah.
for fun? That's impossible.
Just for fun? Well,
Impossible to work just for fun.
yeah, but it's fun to have all the stuff too. Normally people who work for
No,
money.
I'm just joking, you know. I hope you understand me.
No, I understand. Well, it's like yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
What I wanted to add to that was the amount of love that you give is, like, how I see it, is like the double amount of love that you receive. It's like expanding that giving of yours into receiving, because like they are the same. And when you give, work, meditate, like whatever word we use, because they are all the same thing, by having fun and by having peace in your core and loving what you're giving, you actually expand that even more. Like you are basically like choosing to have more love there, to have more fun there, like to feel richer in spirit, like abundant in spirit. And that's really like when you actually like really feel into that and like give from a place of love to God, you can I don't know how to say it, but you can really feel it inside, that you are receiving so much.
I was just writing it. I have to leave now. I'm sorry. I have a coaching with Colby, who's bringing me to hopefully much more power. But yeah, I hope it's okay. I said, yeah, before, but I just want to say thank you to you all, guys. It was an honor to be here with you and all that power.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I say bye. Yeah, you are going on talking. Yeah, bye. Was very nice. I don't know. Yeah, next time, how long it is going.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only an hour, but as long as it feels good and flow, yeah,
Okay.
sometimes it's over.
Okay. So thank you very much. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Hmm.
I kind
Yeah.
of feel complete, eh?
Yeah, it feels
Very
complete.
peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, peaceful and fun and ready to water all the plants of the seeds that have been sown. Yeah. So, yes, thank you guys. It was fun. I'm glad God guided me to, invite all of you to join me and have a fun, peaceful discussion. And
Thank
powerful,
you for inviting me.
powerful. You're powerful. So, thank you guys. Yeah. And thanks everyone who joined in and was watching too.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We'll end the live. And bye, Mark's cat.
He was having a lot of fun.
Yeah, he looks jazzed, very energized.